Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Northern Kentucky Spotlight Podcast presented by CVG. I'm your host, Sarah Brookbank. Today on the podcast, we are joined by the team at Prost Mortgage Group. They highlight how they're helping a wide variety of customers in Northern Kentucky on their path to homeownership. And on NKY Work, we're joined by Leon Gladney of Interactive College of Technology in Newport. He talks about their different career offerings and how ITC's Job Placement Assistance Program is helping graduates find careers. Thank you to our podcast sponsors, CVG, our title sponsor, C-Crew Consulting, our digital sponsor, and our episode sponsor, Haran. With Kentucky's statewide election fast approaching, join the Northern Kentucky Chamber for a spirited discussion with 3-in-the-know Frankfort lobbyists. Bites in Politics, a 2023 Kentucky statewide election preview, is happening from 4 to 6 on Wednesday, October 18th at Summit Hills Country Club. Join us for light bites and refreshments as we hear the inside scoop on top issues, strategies, and other political maneuvers that are moving voters in the Commonwealth this year. You can register for that event at nkychamber.com/events. Now, let's go meet our members of the week, hear from our sponsors, and Nancy and I will be back with this week's guests.
Why would you travel to England?
For football.
To go or not to go?
That is an easy question.
To visit the land of Shakespeare.
To take in all the sights.
Authentic fish and chips.
To experience arts and culture.
2 words, British Open.
To visit my family.
Same reason I go anywhere. For a pint of beer. To start my trip through Europe.
Whatever your reason, there's no better time than now.
Ranking on Google Search and Maps is easy to understand, but hard to do. It requires constant effort and attention, uploading new photos, responding to Google reviews, writing weekly posts, and checking suggested updates. Google listing optimization takes experience and time, and there are no shortcuts. C-Crew gives your Google My Business account the steady, consistent attention it needs to be effective, optimizing, updating, and expanding critical content every single week. From local retail stores to large regional networks, C-Crew generates content, establishes benchmarks, and creates dramatic, measurable increases in engagement. So what can C-Crew do for your business? More calls, more clicks, more clients.
Congratulations to our members of the week. You can learn more about these businesses by following the Northern Kentucky Chamber on social media, where we will highlight one of these businesses each day. Now, let's meet our members of the week. Latitude 21 Travel is your expert in all-inclusive resorts. With first-hand knowledge gained from frequent property visits, they ensure that clients find the perfect fit for their dream vacation. Clothes Mentor is a locally owned women's resale shop. They buy and sell clothes, shoes, handbags, and accessories. Simplified Talent Group is a boutique retained search and advisory firm exclusively focused on mid to senior level HR recruitment. The Carnegie is the only multidisciplinary arts venue in Northern Kentucky and utilizes its historic building as a venue for emerging and established artists to create while providing educational opportunities. The Cincinnati Zoo and Botanical Garden is dedicated to creating adventure, conveying knowledge, conserving nature, and serving the community. Hi, everyone. Today on the podcast, we are joined by Prost Mortgage Group. I'm going to introduce everybody. I'm going to have to read off my notes. We've got Ken Prost, who is the mortgage advocate, Becky Estaiza, who is the loan partner, and Danielle Prost, who is the branch manager. Everybody, welcome.
Thank you for having us.
So let's jump right in. Tell us about Prost Mortgage Group.
Sure. So we are a local mortgage company located in Cold Spring. We are a husband and wife team who have worked together for the last 18 years. We have all of our team is in Northern Kentucky. We all work out of our office. There's about 10 of us. And we are partners with Success Mortgage Company, which is a large mortgage company out of Michigan. So we are super excited to serve our community. And that's really our focus, is to figure out what the community needs are for housing and how we can have the programs and resources to fulfill those needs.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Yeah.
I reiterate that. Yeah, we work with a lot of different clients, some with excellent credit, some with some credit challenges, and we'll help people no matter what their situation is.
Yeah, over the course of 19 years, I'm sure you guys have seen a lot. So tell us a little bit about the types of services you offer when you're working with clients.
Sure. So I'll just start a little bit about the type of services that we can offer are really dependent upon where that client is on their path to homeownership. So if we have somebody who isn't quite able to qualify now, we can put them on a credit game plan at no charge to them and really walk them through the steps of homeownership. If you have somebody who's more ready to purchase, then their path might be slightly bit shorter and still having access to all of the like normal type of products like FHA, conventional, USDA, VA, all of those ranges. But Ken is so knowledgeable about some of the ancillary products that we have that are really just trying to fit some of those non-traditional needs.
Well, and related to credit, some of the situations where they would think that they don't qualify because maybe somebody else turned them down, stricter guidelines. There's often ways to look at the credit and identify ways to update or rescore and increase their credit score in a week. Doesn't always take months and months to do an actual credit game plan. So sometimes it's an easy fix, easy solution so they can get pre-approved right away. But as far as programs, we have all the different ones that are available in general, but we have some specific niches. If somebody has a lower credit score, we have some options for lower score FHA down to a 500 score coming soon, I think this week, and maybe even no score FHA. But even if they're no score, sometimes it's easy to get them to an excellent score by opening up some new trade lines, so like a credit game plan, if you will, but a lot of different flexible programs. And I think as the economy shifts and changes with inflation, they're going to even have additional programs available to the public.
Well, what about some other programs? I mean, you're so much more of an expert on them than I am about for self-employed and business owners.
Right. Thank you for reminding me of that. So we have a 12-month bank statement program. If they're self-employed, we use the bank statements to qualify them instead of tax returns.
Okay.
So that's one great option. If they're an investor and they're buying a rental property or they want to be an investor, there's an investor cash flow program where we look at the cash flow for the property they're buying. And there's no tax returns and no W-2s needed. It's just the cash flow for the property has to be higher than the mortgage payment. And they can buy a rental property that way. And it's great for investors who typically have a lot of write-offs, or maybe self-employed folks who have write-offs and want to buy some rental properties. So that's a good option for them. So there's a lot of different specialty products available. Renovation loans, not everybody offers those, so renovation loan programs are available as well.
Yeah, that is awesome. You have mentioned so many different types of things you offer. I feel like that probably makes you guys very different than a lot of the competitors in the area. What else makes you guys different?
I think the biggest thing is that makes us different is looking at it, and when we're trying to create the process and procedures for our team, as looking like if I was a first-time home buyer, how would I want the experience to be? And so like our team has a 200-page manual of our vibe that we're creating for the consumer. So in looking at that and looking at the community and looking at our demographics, so we're so fortunate in Northern Kentucky and Cincinnati where we're serving an urban population, rural populations, suburban, but the gamut is so mileage not far, right? Like you can be driving outside of Cincinnati, like I can still hear the fireworks from downtown, and I live so rural.
Yeah, it's just such a strange but wonderful community in that sense where like you really can, if you drive 30 minutes, you hit everything.
Yeah,
that's true.
And like it's just such a neat thing. So like every little parts of the communities are going to have different needs, different housing programs that really benefit them. So it's making sure that you're an expert in so many different programs so that you can serve, you can do loans for different type of high-rise condos, or you can do loans for, like we can do them for single wides, and really making sure that you have the accessibility for housing for so many different people, because it is so important. It's their home, and that's the end of the day. What we're trying to help people is establish their roots in their community.
Right. One of the things I read when you fill out a little form before you guys come on the podcast, you guys also offer bilingual services for your community, which is great. I don't really see a lot of that. So can you guys touch on that a little bit?
I would love for you to, Becky.
Our bilingual loan partner.
Yeah, it's been amazing working at Prost. Really, their motivation is to help the entire community. And for the Hispanic community, they've been underserved for a long time. And we've had the pleasure of helping a lot of families, throughout their history too, but probably in the last year, we've helped a lot more. And it's been a privilege because a lot of them have different circumstances and scenarios, and some of them can be challenging. But we've been able to successfully get them into their dream home and, get that home ownership or American dream fulfilled. And so we work with different programs as well. We have ITIN programs with different, requirements and qualifications. But we also have helped people who have work permits or different types of visas. And a lot of people don't know that they can, acquire a home or that they qualify for it. So it's been a learning process, I think, for all of us. But it's been amazing to know that we have all these resources and capabilities of helping the Hispanic community. And with the different programs that we offer, it's been a good resource for them. It's a lot of educating and breaking down that confidence wall that they have because they feel like it's such an unreachable goal. And honestly, to see their happy faces at closing day has been amazing and very joyful, rewarding job.
No, that is great. And I know, Ken, you kind of raised your hand. Was there something you wanted to add about what makes you guys different?
Well, you mentioned it, that making sure that people are educated as to the process, and buying a house is a big step, no matter who you are. And I think that's it's been invaluable to have Becky here to explain things in English or Spanish when it's needed, so that people feel at ease as much as possible and don't make it as scary as it could be of a process. I joke around, I've been doing this 25 years. We bought our last house 6 years ago. I don't know, maybe because we bought a bigger house, but I was nervous throughout the process. And we do this every day.
And
so
we're doing the process. It was still
it is
very nerve-wracking.
It's a big step for people. So we want to make sure that they understand and we help them all the way through.
No matter what background they have, whether it's English, Spanish, or even other languages that we've gotten the chance to work with, our goal is to make them feel empowered, that they can, reach that goal. So whoever wants to come on into Prost, we'll be more than happy to help them.
Yeah, that is great. I know, as someone who has bought a house and went through that very stressful process a number of years ago as a very young home buyer, I remember I was one of the first of my friends that really went out and bought a house. And I remember I was like, who do I talk to? This is very stressful. Having someone on your side, I'm sure, would feel very nice. I loved my team, but having a hands-on team can be so important for anybody in their home buying stage.
And having a local team, I think that's so important about using local service providers, whether it's your insurance agent, a title company, your realtor, your mortgage person, all of that is having your team based in the area just provides, because they were saying that community is so diverse and so different that you really can have the skills versus, trying not to just find everything shopping online.
Mm-hmm.
Which really, we're so lucky though, because I do feel like our community embraces that.
Yeah.
Wants to work with local businesses.
And along that line, I always try to highlight that, because when you work for a bigger corporation or bigger banks, they probably have the right motive in helping people, but they're not so dedicated in time and resources to help personally with that customer or that client. And so with them being a family-owned business and local, it really opens up a whole different door for everyone who comes in and is looking to purchase a home.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things I want to talk about, we can't skip over it, is the rising cost of housing in the area and the inflation that we're seeing right now. Obviously, that's happening on a large national scale, but it's also happening locally. What are you guys kind of seeing trending right now? What's that market looking like?
So Zillow just published an article that said Cincinnati has the highest increase of rents of anywhere in the country.
Wow.
So
it finally happened.
Yeah, we finally made a chart, right? So so that's definitely spurring on keeping the homeownership strong, because rent is so expensive. So I think that the problem is going to be finding affordable housing. And I think that we all have to think outside of the box as a community. And I strongly urge community leaders with planning to really take into consideration more affordable housing projects for the community. Because when you have the average home prices that have went up way above the 200s, there are still so many single parents or two who are working that's just not attainable.
Mm-hmm.
So finding ways within the community. And one thing that we've tried in our own little ways, like by doing, we have great financing programs on manufactured housing. You know, those are still affordable. Or looking at renovation loans, working with some different programs that you can do renovation loans to help with community blight. So, you know, making those homes part of a viable community.
And then one strategy we've really talked up in the last year is buying, because you can buy up to a 4-family house FHA with 3.5% down. So you can put 3.5% down and then live in one unit and rent out the other 2 or 3 units, whatever, you know, if it's a 3-family or 4-family, and that creates income. And actually, that would probably more than pay for the mortgage payment for someone. So that's a strategy that we've had some buyers use or utilize this past year, especially.
I'm sure. Well, especially you think a lot of multi-generational housing situations are happening now. A lot of like millennials, I think, is that type of demographic. A lot of people are still living at home when you have those, you know, separate needs, but you're still living under one roof. I'm sure that could probably come into play as well.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of generational wealth that can be built as well. But, you know, that's why we try our best to educate our clients, because they might have the goal of generating wealth for their future generations, but they don't know how. And so with these different programs like the one he just mentioned is a very easy resource to use to do that.
Yeah. You go on.
I just say removing barriers for the community too. So there's great down payment assistance programs in our state. I mean, Kentucky has one of the best housing agency programs through KHC, and then the City of Covington River funds are phenomenal. So we're just really lucky to have access to those funds, because that does help eliminate a barrier for the down payment, because it's a lot of money.
And the Rivertown program is administered through Covington, but it's all the river towns: Ludlow, Bromley, Covington, Latonia, Newport, Bellevue, Dayton. And we jokingly say Erlanger, even though it's not on the river. And they're adding some new towns in the next few months. But it's up to $10,000 of grant money for down payment assistance, and it really helps a home buyer.
And just as a side note, I know they don't like to brag, but Ken has been the #1 top loan officer with KHC, Kentucky Housing, for years now. So it's something that we work with a lot, and we enjoy doing, because a lot of people don't have that much money to put down for a house, and they think that they have to wait years to save up for that. So with having an expert in this local owned family business, it really brings up a lot more opportunities for other customers.
Yeah, that is incredible, knowing that you guys are here and helping, like you said, just a wide range of types of customers and people in our community. When you think about the market and these trends that have been happening, what do you think the future of home ownership looks like?
That's a good question.
Hopefully lower rates in 2024, right?
All right, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. I do think the rates will go down next year, but we'll see. That's the forecast. All the experts are saying the rates are going to decrease, which will help for affordable housing. I also, and I've seen it this year, a lot of newer programs becoming available, not just the grant programs or down payment assistance programs, but loosening up the guidelines, not necessarily every place, every bank or lender, but I've seen some newer flexibility, if you will, with like lower credit scores being allowed with a down payment. So lenders and banks will become creative to help hopefully solve that problem with affordable housing and with the cost of everything being higher. So I'm hopeful of the coming years and the coming year.
I still think we're going to have an inventory shortage for a little bit. That's definitely been a problem. Less so in our area, for sure, than other parts of the country. And until we can find more affordable housing options, I do think that that'll continue to be a little bit of an issue. You also, until the rates go down, you don't have people moving as much as they did before.
Right.
Because if somebody has a very low rate, what's the incentive? So I think as rates trend back downwards, you'll see more movement and mobility of people moving. So I think that'll help.
And one of the owners of our company, our parent company, Success Mortgage Partners, he's on the board, actually president of the board of the Mortgage Bankers Association nationwide. And the consensus is that is what they believe is going to happen next year. The rates are going to go down. maybe low fives, let's say 30-year fixed in the low fives, and that's going to help stabilize the market, buyers and sellers. And some of the sellers that didn't want to sell at 7% or 7.5% because they have to buy a house, or they may want to buy a house, and the rates are double what they were when they, the last time they refinanced. So they may be more willing to list and sell their house if the rates are in the fives versus where they've been this past year and a half or so.
That's our crystal ball for
That's our
We're
goal.
not taking any bets on that either.
It's a hopeful theory.
Okay, well, I was going to ask what the Vegas line was on that, but I will ask.
Second quarter of 2024.
I will call you to check in on
All
that. So I know you guys have a community event coming up soon. Can you guys highlight that for us?
Sure. Yeah, so we're going to have a homeownership fair / Hispanic Festival, October 15th at DCCH in Fort Mitchell. The whole idea behind it is to educate our community with the different programs and resources available to them, and again, empowering them to reach that American dream of homeownership. So we're also involving the community by inviting Latin-owned or Hispanic-owned businesses. So they're going to be different vendors at the event with different food, entertainment, games. We're going to have prices. And we're really just trying to also give them exposure because it helps the community. You know, the people that are entrepreneurs and driven to have goals in life and reach them are the type of people that we need to help out so that there is progress in our community. So empowering them and educating them is one of the ways that we can give back to the community and make that dream, you know, for them a reality. So we're really excited to have that event, and everybody's more than welcome to attend. So October 15th, save the date.
Yes, that sounds so exciting. It has been so great to have you guys on today. Before I let you guys go, how can people get in touch with you all? What's the best way to get in contact?
Sure. So our office number is 859-795-1316. The live people answer our phones. Our whole team answers our phones. And then our website is homeloansuccess.com. So homeloansuccess.com. And you can apply online there or ask for more information. We do employer seminars on homeownership. So we'll bring in dessert in the break room and answer questions that employees might have about the homeownership process or refinance or whatever. Just because homeownership, when the vast majority of employees do own homes, it creates more of a stable workforce. So it's a free service that we provide. So if there's anybody that's interested in more information about that, we always can coordinate that as well.
And we can also be found at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and then that's where we also do a lot of communication, and we also kind of record all the events that we have, because we do have different events for realtors and like seminars. So if any other realtors are interested, they can also find those on there, and we can work together.
That is great. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on the podcast today. It's been great.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Hi, this is Nancy Spivey, and I'm the Vice President of Talent Strategies for the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce. On today's NKY at Work segment, we're talking about Interactive College of Technology. ICT is what I like to call it. So I'm joined today with Leon Gladney, who I understand you're new. You're the campus director there, correct?
Yes, I am.
Well, congratulations on that new role.
Thank you.
So for those who don't know, what is ICT? What is Interactive College of Technology?
So Interactive College of Technology is a proprietary school of higher learning. We primarily focus on degree programs and diploma programs and occupational, job descriptions, things like HVAC, medical office management, human resource developing, accounting, careers that are in high demand. Yet it doesn't take an arm and a leg to be able to afford, getting your feet off the ground and into a rewarding career.
Well, some of what you just said, those are high demand occupations in our region. So I understand ICT is based out of Atlanta, but you have campuses throughout, correct?
Correct. Yes, our primary campus is in Chamberlain, Atlanta. We also have campuses in northern and southern Texas as well. And we're the baby campus. We're here in Newport. Kentucky. So, we're small, but we're mighty.
Yeah, baby campus for now, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But hopefully we're growing, right?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit. I understand you're an authorized Microsoft certified testing center, correct?
Yes.
And I know that's something that's in demand. So that's not necessarily a degree, right? That's something that people take classes or...
It can be continuing education, but also it is encompassed in a degree program. So for individuals who are looking to acquire a degree in business management or a degree in accounting or medical office administration, we find that those skills are transferable skills that will be utilized in many areas in those different professions. So to become Microsoft certified can be used as a leveraging power, when negotiating salary and, starting positions.
And tell me a little bit about your student population. What kind of students do you have? Are they part-time? Are they full-time? Right out of high school? Give me an idea of the makeup of the students.
Sure. So primarily a lot of our students are working professionals. Many of them have children. They work 40 to 50 hours a week, so they really can't afford the luxury, of being on campus full-time. So with our programs that we offer, our programs are presented in a hybrid format, which allows the flexibility of students to be able to, study remotely from home, or they also have the capability of coming onto the campus and also studying there as well. So, we do have a younger demographic of students who are very, very attracted to the trades program, such as the HVAC, because it's very hands-on. It's a program that can be ascertained in as little as 11 months, and they'll be able to get to the bag, as they say, a lot quicker. The longer programs would be the degree programs, but having a degree does look a lot better on the resume. So those programs are the human resource management programs, the accounting programs, or the medical office administration. So there's an array of programs to choose from.
So it sounds like I could either participate in a degree track or I can just come in for continuing education, correct?
Correct. Both of those options are available to our students. So I know as a consumer myself that having autonomy and choices is much more attractive than just having one way to get to my end result. So we present our students with options.
And then do you host career fairs? Or if I'm an employer and I'm like, I'm desperately looking for an HVAC person, how do I figure that out and how do I connect with you?
Yes, so in every one of our campuses, we have a career services department that works directly with a lot of, institutions and hiring managers locally and abroad. This gives our students the opportunity to be able to put their skill sets to use in the real world. One of the things that separates ICT from many other employers, one, we're the only school in the area that offers a trade program, and two, our programs are the only ones that actually offer a hands-on externship opportunity for our students. So they're actually being able to utilize those skill sets in the job market while they're still actively in school, just to ensure that their core competencies are firmly in place.
Okay. Now, do you welcome employers to come on campus and meet your students or tell them a little bit about the jobs that are in our market?
Absolutely. We host career fairs on campus, and then we also go out into the community, and we also engage in external career fairs. Of course, you can reach out to the school or look us up online at ict.edu and just click on the Kentucky campus and reach out to us, and we'll be more than happy to respond immediately to an inquiry or to a potential employer to come onto the campus, get a tour of our facilities and make sure that it makes sense to what they're trying to accomplish with, their hiring process. We definitely welcome that. That's something that's championed. And, one of our biggest resources that we provide for our students is access to career services. So the outcome needs to be the end objective for our students.
That's right. So I know you mentioned healthcare, and that's a phenomenal growth area as far as jobs are. What type of skills do those students come out with?
Great question. So as far as the healthcare profession goes, a lot of our students who are a little bit squeamish of blood, who may not, want to go on the track of, maybe a nursing or an LPN program, our medical office administration program allows our students to be able to acquire many of the transferable skills and utilize those within a healthcare setting without having to draw blood and be squeamish of working with patients that closely. So they work from more of an administrative standpoint.
Okay, that's great, because I know those are in demand and those are positions that are critical to our health, right?
Very high in demand, especially with what's going on in the world. These individuals are considered essential workers. So employment opportunities are vast.
Yeah. So tell me where exactly your campus is located.
So we're located at 76 Carruthers Road in Newport, Kentucky. We're right inside the Newport Plaza.
Okay.
So it's very easily accessible by public transportation, and also it's very easy to get to if you just Google.
And everyone knows how to use Google these days, right? So I'm reading through the degree programs, and tell me a little bit about accounting and professional business.
Sure. So the accounting program is an Associates of Science program. Students also have the autonomy of choosing to go in a diploma program in accounting. So the diploma program allows them to go and obtain the bread and butter of an accounting degree without having to sit through the general education requirements, such as English, algebra, statistics, humanity, all the fun stuff. Now, if they do want to go, for the more robust version of the program, then the Associates of Science degree program would make more sense. It is more highly sought after by employers, and it does look great on a resume.
Sure. And then the business information systems, is that the computer technology?
Yes, so this program is ideal for individuals who are looking to, enter the job market and exercise their transferable skills in their love of technology. So they learn a lot about the applications of Microsoft, Excel, Spreadsheet, PowerPoint, Microsoft Edge. All of these applications are utilized in today's job market.
Sure.
So, in doing so, they find themselves applicable for positions in companies such as Microsoft. Any organization that has a technology infrastructure would be an ideal place to apply for an entry-level position with that associates.
It sounds like a great campus, a lot of activity going on, and you're doing a valuable service for the employers that we serve. So anything else that I've forgotten to ask?
Well, as far as who we are, what we do, and how we operate, we prefer to partnership with our students. There's no such thing as a little man with ICT. Everyone deserves a fair shot to be great. And we welcome, individuals from all walks of life. As far as education goes, I don't see that there's a downside to any proponent of education. I champion it. I stand by it. I've been in the field for almost 20 years. You couldn't have told me 10 years ago that I'd be doing this for a living and a career, but I love what I do, and I love meeting our graduates. So if individuals, are thinking of a new career, maybe they're underemployed at this time, this would be a great time to look at this as an opportunity to advance your skill sets.
Totally agree with you. Thank you so much, Leon.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hi, I'm Shannon Schumacher, Account Executive, Kentucky Market Leader. At Haran, we champion bold innovation to help employers and individuals thrive. As an industry thought leader, we explore new horizons in healthcare, benefits, employee engagement, and wellness. We work harder to deliver all the strategic benefits, planning, and execution you expect from a true partner. And we do it with laser focus on your short and long-term outcomes to help manage your benefits while improving your employee experience.
Thank you all for tuning into the podcast this week and learning a little bit more about Interactive College of Technology and Prost Mortgage Group. You can learn more about Prost Mortgage Group's Hispanic Fall Festival happening on the 15th of this month on their social media profiles. Don't forget to register for Pints and Politics coming up on the 18th of October. You can do that at nkychamber.com/events. Thank you once again to our podcast sponsors, CVG, C-Crew Consulting, and Haran. Finally, if you are a member who would like to be featured on the podcast, or if you're someone who is interested in becoming a member of the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, please reach out to Lynn Ablin. If you're someone who is interested in sharing your workforce strategies and resources on NKY at Work, please reach out to Nancy Spivey. You can find their contact information on the screen in front of you or at our staff directory at nkychamber.com. Thanks once again for tuning in. I'll talk to you guys next week.